All right, guys, it's that time of night. Thank you for coming to Wayward Comedy every single Wednesday at Chili Lime Brewery. Yeah, they deserve a cheer too. Don't stop at just Wayward. Actually had a pipe burst today. They almost weren't able to open, and that does not sound like fun. All right, so again, you can still sign up. We're doing 5-minute sets. I will light you at 5 minutes, and at that time, you have 1 minute to wrap your shit up. If not, I will be looming in the corner, putting pressure on you. I'm honestly kind of amazed. I was kind of a hot mess last time I hosted last week, but they still let me back on stage. But I learned a lot. I really did. Like, for example, if you have an opinion on when you want to go on the list, you can come talk to me and I'll just tell you to go fuck yourself. But yeah, we're looking forward to a good night. We've got some great comics coming up. And stand-up sure is fun. I haven't been doing it super long, but long enough to be better than I am. And I remember the first time I got a paid gig, it was at the Jean Cocteau Cinema. And and I bombed. It was the worst night I ever had. It was like the Jean Cocteau stage was Johnny Depp's bed, and I was Amber Heard just taking a huge shit right on that stage. But I still got paid for it, you know? I feel like only escorts get paid that well a minute. But stand-up comedy is a close second. All right, guys. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. We had like a 2.5-hour open mic last week, so let's just get her started. We've got one of the Wayward creators here who's about to stand up and do some stand-up. Please welcome Nick Pelton to the stage.
All right. Give it up for your host, Catherine. Give it up for Chili Lime. My name's Nick, and I do believe we're recording right now. Is that right? Are we live? Boy, what a mistake that is. I watched some of my videos.
0 viewers now.
0 viewers, thank God. Just like this big old 0 right in front of me. I'll tell you if it turns into a 1. But yeah, watching that was a big mistake. It's kind of like looking at your asshole in the mirror for the first time. You're like, oh my God, I've been carrying this around with me this whole time. Like, this is what's inside of me if I let it out. And it turns out I thought I had like a kingly presence everywhere I go. But I watch these videos and I'm like this the whole time. I swear to God. So I went to my doctor and I said, look, doc, you got to watch this comedy video here. What the hell's wrong with me? And my doctor said the same thing he says every time. Nick, you're my worst patient. You're the worst person I've ever met. And I said, doc, that doesn't help me out. And so he said, Nick, I think maybe you need to spend less time in the brothel and more time in the gym. And I said, but doc, how am I going to get my exercise? Yeah. He didn't like it either. See? Terrible idea. So I took half of his advice. The point is I started going to the gym. And I didn't want to go to one of those trendy gyms like Planet Fitness or Squat Dungeon or wherever else those buff guys are on the sign. Yeah, Squat Dungeon fans out there. They're everywhere you go. Squatters. So I found this secret little gym. I'm not even going to tell you guys the name of it because I don't want to give it away. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, guys. But it was weird. I got in there, and I'm kind of new to that whole thing, but I got in there, and I swear to God, these guys were doing the strangest exercises. I didn't understand it. You know, one guy was on a machine, and he was doing one of these. He was going like this. Another guy was doing an exercise like this, literally. What the hell kind of gym is this? What kind of muscles are you working out? Then I figured it out. This is no regular gym. I had stumbled onto a dad gym. This is a gym specifically for dads. We've got the lawnmower right here. We've got the jar opener. That doesn't come for free. Dad works hard at that. So I've been sticking around. I kind of like it there. Those exercises are kind of my style. I've been doing this combo lately. It's called, I do 5 get out of the chairs that leads into look in the fridges. And the way that works, it works best if you fall asleep for about a second on the get out of the chair, and it also works if you're angry with the look in the fridge. So you want to do one of these right here. You go, damn it! Damn it! And then you can, I usually do 5, but I don't want to win myself here in front of you guys. But the dad gym, it's a very special place. It's a little weird though, because it turns out I'm not a dad. I don't have kids. So I don't quite know what my standing, yeah, that's right, ladies. That wasn't a lady for the record, that was Phil Johnson. But the dad gym, oh, I'm not a dad, and they don't know it explicitly. Like all dads, they kind of have a general sense of it, but they don't know how to articulate it. So instead, they just give me advice, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to do what's called a dad bench press, which is you just lay down and read the newspaper like this. And these guys just instinctively come out of the woodwork. Now, son, you want to lock your elbows there if you're doing one of those. Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, except loosen the elbows. Now, you need to make sure that print is bigger, or else you're going to go blind there, son. And I'm like, fellas, don't we all need to get home to our kids here? I've been considering keeping other people's kids in my wallet just as a defense. But I feel like that might backfire eventually. Especially if that dad ends up at the gym. Ooh, gotta go. Okay, so that's the dad gym. Dad's rule of dad gym. But I'll tell you, the locker room is a different story. That's right. This is happening in male locker rooms all across the country. Women, I don't know if you know this, but there's a magical thing where old men, decrepit as they are, enter a male locker room. They take off all their clothes, and all of a sudden they're the spryest being you've ever seen. They're ballerinas, you know what I mean? They're gymnasts. They're doing stretches you didn't think was possible. And every single stretch has the same goal. They're trying to get their ball sack to your eye line. That's the goal. Every old man stretch. So he's like telling you about how he used to live in Alaska in the 80s. And you're like, oh, that sounds cold. You're looking warm now, though. That's great. Anyway, I think that's all I got for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Give it up for your host one more time, Patrick.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Dad joke. No, I've learned a few things in this life, but if it's anything, daddy works hard. All right, I have someone relatively new to the stage who I'm ready to have come up. Steve Yost, like toast. Come on, baby. All right.
I just moved actually from rural Pennsylvania into the mic. Oh, okay. There it is. So this is my first time, so that's obviously not a good So I just moved from rural Pennsylvania, and it's pretty different from Santa Fe, which I love. Y'all here are woke. I have a lot of gay friends here that I know and love, and in rural Pennsylvania, people are not like super enthusiastic about that kind of stuff. Like, I went to a Catholic school, and so, we had a child molester naturally. And whenever they got caught, everyone was like, Brother Baker, you're gay? Those little boys had penises. Don't you know how wrong that is? And everyone in Santa Fe is always like very shocked when I tell them that my high school had a child molester, but we weren't very surprised. It was like a really bad cliche horror murder mystery for us. There were so many obvious potential people. I remember my history teacher freshman year, he would like ask people to walk up to his desk and then just turn them away to like watch their asses. And everyone was like, that person's a child molester. And I knew he wasn't, because that's a red herring. It's like the beginning of season 1. They never tell you who the guy is that early on. Yeah. Like all good series, it got canceled early. People came forward like sophomore year, ruining all the suspense for the rest of us. The thing about a murder mystery is that you can murder as many people as you want and no one will ever come forward. But that's definitely a risk you play with a child molester mystery, which is probably why that genre never took off. They talked to us about a lot of safety issues in school, but never that. They didn't talk about stuff that actually ever happened. There's, yeah, right there. All right, we're back. Like, I remember being called into an auditorium when I was like 11. They talked about when you catch on fire, you've got to stop, drop, and roll. Has that ever happened to anyone? They called all of us in to tell us a support announcement. And I was like, well, naturally, I must be going to catch on fire at some point. And I wasn't very concerned about it either. I was like, hell yeah. When I catch on fire, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to stop and drop and roll. And that will take care of that somehow. But 15, 20 years later, I don't know anyone who stopped or dropped or rolled. I don't know anyone who's known anyone who has stopped or dropped or rolled. Does anyone here know anyone who has done this? No! Wait. You're saying you did this?
Not me.
You know someone. You sweet summer child. No one has done that. That's insane. They would be dead. It does not help.
It didn't help.
Okay, all right. So you weren't tricked. All right, that's all that matters. No, that won't save you rolling on the ground to put out a fire. You're probably better off just not studying it and like crowdsourcing an answer. Like, if someone came up to me on fire and was like, hey, what do? I'd probably be like, go take a shower or something. That probably wouldn't be great, but that would be better than this. So the real question is like, why was my Catholic middle school so obsessed with teaching us this nonsense? Well, I believe it was a conspiracy to distract us from what was actually going on, you know, like someone's parent comes in and is like, little Billy says a teacher's touching him. Well, the principal could be like, well, haven't you noticed that no students have burned down recently? We've got it covered over here. So if you're a parent, I recommend you take this in your own hands, you know, tell your children that their teachers want to fuck them. Tell your children that their teachers are very bad in bed, they're not generous, they don't care about their pleasure at all. And tell them if someone tells them to stop, drop, and roll, just get rid of that guy. Tell everyone that they're touching him or something. I don't know. That's all the advice I got for today. Y'all do great.
All right, thank you so much. I also grew up Catholic, so I have a lot of trauma. Okay, I'm not gonna put my beer in my hand because I keep leaving it up here. I'm not gonna forget it this time. All right, up next we have Brian Brett. Such a treat.
Thank you everybody. Thanks for coming out. I wrote a beautiful abortion joke this week. But I've decided not to tell it.
Your choice, man.
I'm waiting for a more convenient time. And that's my choice alone. The most racist people I know are white Democrats. Every now and then I hear one slip and say, colored people of color. Is it bad luck to use a weapon from a previous crime in your own suicide? I'm so antisocial. I only look people in the eye when I'm lying to them. If you read the Unabomber's manifesto, you can see for yourself. He actually makes a lot of really interesting points about how to construct mail bombs. I learned Spanish on an Indian reservation. My first word was fried bread taco. I feel most normal in the psych ward. I feel most normal in the psych ward. Is that a weird thing to say? I'm currently collecting unemployment as a math tutor. She said, reason for termination. I said, the students are teaching me more than I could ever teach them. And before I could finish, she said, "Sir, are you still living at the same address?" I've never tutored math, but it is my plan A if I get kicked off unemployment. Just felt so centered lately. Been spending all day laying on the couch, thinking about how grateful I am to spend all day laying on the couch. The ants are staying on the floor. My mailman is putting my mail in other people's boxes. I do drugs, so I can appreciate the days I don't have enough money to do the drugs. The gender spectrum is a social construct. They said. I believe plants have feelings, and vegetarians are delusional. Permanent press makes way too much noise for what it is. I think the perfect murder is the one saved for another day. It's my pound of flesh. I like hanging around fat women because they attract skinny women. Ever so slightly. Through gravity. I like being poor. I'm not rich or anything, but I think that means I am mentally ill. Like, my favorite restaurant is Burrito Spot. It used to be Wendy's, but before that, it used to be Burrito Spot too. I heard the owners divorced because they were eating too much Burrito Spot. They closed the dining room due to complaints from cockroaches. Is the name supposed to be vaguely sexual? Burrito Spot? Is that part at the bottom that's all just wrapped up tortilla?
Yeah, it's a wrapped up chocolate.
How do you touch that?
You don't know how? You must not be married.
Sir, you look like a disabled jockey. I wash my hands 35 times a day. I'm not OCD. I just shit that much. My girlfriend is a feminist, and she said the other day, it's okay with her if I'm not a feminist. In a really sweet voice, like she meant it. And it was in that moment I realized I hadn't been listening for like 20 minutes. All right, thank you guys. I'm Brian Brett. Come on next week.
Thank you so much, Brian Brett. So many fun things. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's keep it moving. Up next, I have one of my favorite people. Yeah, what more can you say? Please, TJ Jones.
How's it going, everybody? How you doing tonight? Everybody doing good? Yeah, I'm kind of fat. I just turned 50 and I decided I would try and improve myself a little bit. What happened was I was getting out of the shower, sorry for the mental image, and I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I was like, oh man, that's a fucking bummer, dude. I look like a scarecrow if a scarecrow was made from a bag of dead hamsters with a volleyball for a head. I look like a fat Nosferatu. But I decided to do something bad, so I got an exercise bike and I changed my diet and I lost like 20 pounds. But I still look like this, so not much of an improvement. I wasn't always fat though. I used to be really skinny. In fact, if you were meeting me for the first time, or if you saw me walking down the street or something like that, you'd think, "Oh man, what a shame! That guy, he must be on crystal meth." And that's because I was on crystal meth. I was on meth for about 12 years. And people ask me about it all the time, like, what was that like? And I just gotta say, it was fucking great. It was really awesome. One thing about being on meth, you're surrounded by quality people all the time. But I'm glad to say that I turned it around. I've actually been clean and sober now for 10 years. Yeah. Don't applaud because it's not gonna last. I'm planning my relapse as we speak. It's gonna be fucking epic. I'm definitely taking some people down with me too. I got clean because I got into trouble and wound up in treatment for a really long time. The thing that I really learned in treatment was that I really hate drug counselors. I think they're all fucking assholes. But just because they kept telling me the same shit all the time, like, TJ, addiction is a disease and you have no power over it. And so I was like, no, addiction is not a disease. Lupus is a disease. You can't go out all night doing too much lupus and then wake up in the morning and be like, oh, fuck, man, that was too much lupus. I am never doing lupus again. Oh, fuck. The other thing that they told me all the time, even though I was not in a 12-step program, they would always say, TJ, you're not going to get clean and sober unless you find a higher power. And my reaction was always like, I'm a fucking atheist. That doesn't fucking work for me. I don't want to be part of your weird sobriety cult. But I'm glad to say that it's been 10 years and I never found a higher power. So fuck you, people who tried to help me. Yeah. Because like most of the people in those programs, they were pieces of shit. Like I couldn't stand being around those people. They had no interest in getting sober. They had no interest in taking responsibility for themselves. And you would think that I would have sympathy for my fellow addicts, and I just don't. I'm addicted to those shows like Intervention and Dope Stick Nation. But when most people watch those shows, they're like, "Oh man, I really hope this person gets help." And my reaction is more like, "Man, this guy just really needs to OD and fucking die." Yeah. Because I can't stand it when people paint drugs. Drugs are great. I think drugs are great. They're super fun. It's people that are the fucking problem. People have no self-control, like me. And I can't stand it when people paint drugs with just that wide brush where they just say, "Oh, drugs are bad. All drugs are bad." Have you guys ever tried Advil? Advil is the shit, man. Oh my god, that stuff is so good. And I pay extra for the little blue caps, the ones that dissolve really quickly, because if I buy anything else, like 10 minutes go by and I'm like, man, I think this shit is fucking bunk, man. Get my gun, find my deal. Wait, it's fucking Advil. That's right. The only thing worse than people who do too many drugs are people who don't do enough drugs. Like those people who are like, I'll just take a half a hit. Fuck that shit. God made hits for a reason, okay? You need to take the whole thing in order to get the full effect. It's like when have you ever been at work and you open up the box of donuts at work and there's a half a donut in there? Who the fuck does that shit? That's so fucked up. And then I end up eating a donut and a half. Yeah. I always eat that extra half a donut. How much time do I have left? Never mind, I don't care. If you're like me, you hate everything. I hate everything. I even hate the things that I love. And like I certainly hate myself, because there's no way that I should love myself knowing myself as well as I do. And but I don't want to have like this black brick of hatred on my heart all the time. So I want to use my hate in constructive ways. Like I want to hate racism, or I want to hate injustice. But then I realized recently that that's kind of a waste of time too, because those things are always going to exist. So I just decided that I'm really just going to hate country music. Because I truly believe that if we all band together, we can eradicate country music in our lifetime as we know it. Yeah. And then racists will have nothing to listen to while they drive around in their trucks, listening to songs about red cups and pickup trucks. That usually splits the room. This next thing is really going to split the room. The only thing I hate more than country music is the band Sublime. God, I fucking hate that band so much. I'm so glad that motherfucker's dead so he can't write any more shitty music. That joke is really just for me. My name's DJ Jones. You've been all right. You've been pretty good. All right. Thanks a lot. Give it up for Catherine Myers.
Thank you, DJ. I love when people come and speak about their experiences. I, for one, have a lot of experience as a server and bartender, which is why it's very important to me that you tip your servers and bartenders exceptionally well. You know, throw in an extra $1. You're feeling nice today. We love it. Another thing I'm really passionate about is when someone else is on stage, if you want to have a conversation, go the fuck outside or shut the fuck up. Please respect the people coming up. It's not fucking easy. All right? All right, so up next, we have someone who hasn't been to the stage in a while. We have missed him dearly. He really has a different perspective and is always a fucking treat. So please welcome Mo to the stage.
I haven't been here for a while. Team Dep, Team Herd.
Team Bird, what?
Team Dep, Team Herd. What do you say? Herd the turd. Yeah, the comedians here, they like to make jokes about me. It's amazing. And sometimes people laugh. Okay, so I had a visit to urgent care, and this was in New York City. I had vertigo. I thought the doctor was pretty. I walked into the room, and my vertigo got 10 times worse. Anyways, you know, what seems to be the problem, I told her what the problem was, you know, and I had been sitting in the waiting room reading these medical magazines, you know, and I think she was flirting with me, you know, but maybe it was my imagination, I don't know. She said, "Did you read anything interesting out there?" So I said, "Chronic idiopathic constipation." Idiopathic, you're stupid. Constipation, you're full of shit. Chronic, it's never going away. So I said, what do you think about that? And she said, "Well, Morris, I'll let you in on a little secret, okay?" So I said, "What's that?" Well, that's sort of like a made-up syndrome. They made that drug, and then they made that syndrome for that drug. And I said, "Are you kidding me?" And she says, No, I'm not kidding you. And that's why they took out a full-page ad for that drug, because like nobody's buying it, right? So I thought that was pretty strange. But you know, I listen to these medical ads on TV, and they're always like, "Take this, it'll make you well. But your anus may fall off. Your genitals will freeze. You'll have nausea, you'll get sick, depressed, and die. But it'll make you better." Like, what's up with that? So she says, "I got some medicine for the vertigo." Like, is it gonna make my genitals numb or anything like that? Okay, that's what I got for today.
All right, welcome back, Mo. Gosh. Thank you so much. All right. The next person I have coming up, I think would be super fun at a slumber party, because they always have the weirdest fucking stories to tell and would probably paint your toenails. All right, Lucas Corbata.
Hello. Please give a hand to all the comics tonight. Wait. It takes balls to get on stage and tell jokes. In my case, they're taught. Laugh. So, this did happen today. Normally I dress up. You know, I love dressing up because I don't get out of the house very often. So when I get to dress up, it's amazing. I love it. That's the reason why. But my agent said, Lucas, you've got an audition and they want to know what you look like when you're just at home by yourself. So I took off all my clothes and put on a G-string. I really don't care. I don't. At this point, you're like, fuck it. How old am I? Oh, I am 41. It's okay. My grinder age is 28. That's my internet age. Life is good. I gotta tell you though, the first job I ever had, I was 16. I worked at a place called Cook's Home Hardware and Lumber Emporium, where you can get screwed, hammered, and nailed, all on aisle 18. I pitched that to them at a marketing meeting. The next day they transferred me from marketing to accounting. And I told them, I'm not good at math, but I measure with my mouth. So they transferred me to the lumber department. I did a show a couple years ago. I did a show here in New Mexico, and a gentleman emailed me. He messaged me on Facebook, and he said, I want to go on a date with you. And I said, how old are you? He said, 18. I said, okay, message me when you're 21, when you're legal enough to drink. Guess what? The fucker did. He messaged me. He said, okay, I'm 21. Let's go on a date. And we're having drinks at the bar. Good thing. He has a job too. Can you believe that? He's from New Mexico. And so life is good. Anyway, we're at the bar. And then, okay, I'm like, okay, we'll go home. We'll go to my house. I have a house, actually. I know I'm a stand-up comedian and I make money. Who knew you could do that? Well, I get a lot of blowjobs. You know, I'm not a gold digger, I'm a diamond digger. This one cost me 3 weeks in Palm Springs, blowjobs. 3 weeks of blowjobs in Palm Springs. It's okay, it's $5 grand. Who gives a shit? Anyway, so he comes over to my house. Guess what? He is allergic to all my cats. On our farm, we've got 9 different cats. 9 cats, he's allergic to cats. I had to make the decision. I had to make the decision between him and pussy, and I thought, well, fuck it. I am choosing pussy for the first time in my life over dick. Yeah, I know! My parents like, what the fuck's going on here? Are you reformed? They were concerned because when I moved back to the family farm for the pandemic, I bought chickens because I thought, well, for the first time in my life, I'll feed cock instead of them feeding me. And, yeah, who gives a shit? Anyway, I was raised on a chicken farm with cucumbers, cocks, and dildos. How am I not fucking gay? Hello, gorgeous eyes. You've got gorgeous eyes. I just needed to tell you that. Not that I want to sleep with you, but I do. Anyway, so I am very fortunate. I've got 2 bedrooms at my parents' house because I have not cut the umbilical cord, and neither have my parents. So anyway, I'm at my parents' house, and my dad was using my restroom, and this seriously happened. I can't make this up. And he found a bottle of lube in my restroom. It was there. It was a sample, whatever. I get samples all the time from Adam and Eve. I used to write for a gay magazine, Pride and Equality. They are so gay, but they were published bi-monthly. They're just fucking confused. Anyway, so he goes into my restroom and he's like, yeah. 2 weeks later, he's like, Lucas, is this bottle of lube for cars or for gay stuff? Conversation with my dad. I said, Dad, it's for gay stuff. He's like, oh, it works great on car parts. Can you order me some more? I said, Dad, just because it says gun oil doesn't mean it's meant for guns. We just shoot off a load. I am very fortunate. I got to perform in Puerto Vallarta. I did 9 shows in Puerto Vallarta. One of them for all gay men on a nude beach. They were all laying down and I got a standing ovation. Anyway, I'm not bullshitting. They were at full attention. It was good. But I had the advantage. People say, oh, weren't you vulnerable and exposed? And I thought, well, fuck that. I had the stand right between me and the mic. They didn't know how hung I was. Who gives a shit? Anyway, so moving on. I will tell you something. If you go to Puerto Vallarta, there are 2 rules. 2 rules that I learned. First, the waves are so strong, they'll throw you down and pull you out. And 2, it is illegal to give blowjobs on a beach. But both times I stood right back up and I didn't get caught, so life is good. I'm not fucking bullshit. You know, and comedians bitch about Chris Rock getting slapped. I was like, what the fuck? I'm always getting slapped, usually on my knees and on all fours, and I'm asking for it. Daddy slap me, but that's different. Yeah, fuck, I thought that joke would go down better. It's okay, I'll go down on him better tonight. Who gives a shit? Oh, I'm up for an audition. I've got 3 fucking auditions this week, which life is so good. But I have signed so many damn NDAs, you'd think that I was sucking Harvey Weinstein's cock. And along those lines, because I got the light, they gave me the light, they're like, Lucas, get the fuck off stage. Anyway, along those lines, I wish, growing up around cocks and cucumbers, dicks and dildos, I wish my mom would have said to me, Lucas, when I became an actor, I wish she would have said to me, Lucas, you want to be an actor? Go out to the garden, get yourself a cucumber, bring a pillow, get on your knees. Mama's going to show you what it's like to be a true entrepreneur, and not start sucking Harvey Weinstein's cock, because I would have done it. Now look who I am on a Wednesday night performing to you folks. I mean, it's not so bad, but it's not like I'm getting paid $1,000. Life is fucking good. I love you guys.
Cheers. Thank you. Gosh, makes me wish I'd known I was queer at a younger age. I again, like we heard, grew up Catholic. I just walk into a Victoria's Secret and get a certain tingle and think that no one else felt that way. That's a fun little side note to my life. Great. Just a cool reminder that the last call for food is at 9:30. Also, I have someone coming up to the stage whom I very affectionately call Mossy Toe. His real name is Tomas Cabildo.
Shut up, Lillian. Sorry, I placed my drink there. You guys are sports. Yeah, Mossy Toe Dildo. Anyway, hi guys. How's everyone doing tonight? Everyone doing good? So, I have a punchable face. I know I have a punchable face because a lot of people have tried to punch my face. And by the way, if you're wondering if I'm gonna go any higher in energy, no. This is all you get for me. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I'll tell you about some of the fights I've been in. Like, I've never really started a fight in my life, so hail Christ, I don't know. No, but like, so I got into a fight once. I was at Evangelos, and if y'all are locals here, you know what that's fucking like. It's an interesting place. I wanted to play pool, right? And this guy was hogging the table, and it was like an hour in, and I went up to him, and I was like, hey man, you mind giving me the pool table? Like, I'd really like to play. We got pool. And he looked directly in my eyes and said, do you want to die? To which I responded, no, I want to play pool. And it escalated a little bit more, and eventually he told me he was going to shoot me in the face. And I was like, that's cool. I still only want to play pool. But anyways, the conversation didn't go very much further, as you can clearly tell. When there was a long time ago when I was at a party, right? It was a Super Bowl party. It was the Falcons versus the Patriots. And this guy, who's the only Patriots fan there, he had a handlebar mustache. Real class act of a human being that he was. But anyways, I was outside, and it wasn't even about the game or anything. It was literally just, I was outside smoking a cigarette, and the guy came up to me and was like, I don't like your eyes. To which I responded, then don't look at them. And then he pushed me off a balcony. And then as I was falling off said balcony, all I could think was, I have to fight this guy now. And I did, and I won, so yay me, yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks. It was a good, well, hard-fought fight for my eyes. So I don't know if you guys can notice, but I'm stupid. I know I'm stupid because Creed plays through my head every day. You know the song, with arms wide open. Even though I'm not that person, I'm not the arms wide open person. My pockets are in my hands are in my pockets. That was a fucked up sentence. My hands are in my pockets all the goddamn time. That's what I meant to say. But I realized recently that I was kind of dumb because I went on this date, right? And it was off a Hinge, and she identified as queer, and I'm trying to be more understanding of what the LGBTQ kind of stuff is. And she told me, "Oh yeah, I'm queer," and I was like, "Oh, is that like a weekend thing?" She didn't like that response. But I know like dating sucks, you know, for everyone. Like I'll just say it right now, dudes fucking suck. Like I've seen it, like dudes are a piece of shit. Like you guys are a couple, right? See how aptly dumb I am right there? Okay, let's pretend you guys are a couple for a second. So this is how dudes, you're not like brother or sister or something like that. That would be really fucking weird. Well, let's pretend, like, this is how a dude will interact. He'll just come up and be like, you'll be right there. Hey, you will be completely ignored, and they will just do, that was supposed to go better. But anyways, dudes fucking suck. We're assholes, all right? I know it because I'm one of them. You know, girls suck too. I've never had a dude friend fake a pregnancy on me. But not yet. That is like a guy's gonna go to me, Tomas, listen to me. Something's changing in my body. No. But you know, like I think really the equality thing needs to come in this sense. Because we need to realize that we're all pieces of shit. Right? Like it's not that women suck, it's not that men suck, it's not, I'm sorry, all genders fucking suck. Like all of us, that's how we gain equality, that's how we realize that we're all just kind of shitty human beings. We're all flesh and blood, we know what we're doing. That's it. That's all I got. Hey you guys, what else
Thanks, Masito. I fucked up his name last week and I was so nervous to say it. Oh, my joke is already ruined. I'm just gonna move on. Okay. Awesome. All right, up next, I'm not even gonna give much of an introduction. I'm just gonna welcome a great female comedian to the stage. We're so happy to have her as part of Wayward Comedy. Esther!
Hey guys, my name is Esther. Brian Brett once told me that I look like a teacher who fucks her students. I was just flattered that he thought I was a mentor in any way, shape, or form. I usually wear these colorful pastel shirts, and my ex-boyfriend once asked me, "Hey, can you just wear one color?" And I was like, "Hey, can you just do one vagina?" The same ex once told me that I wasn't emotionally mature enough to handle a polyamory. I told him he wasn't emotionally mature enough to handle being alone. So that ended well. It only took us 3 years to figure out that we were both right. But polyamory doesn't work for me because I don't have the time to like emotionally satisfy and openly communicate with multiple partners. Because that's what true polyamory is. It's fucking work. You have to constantly remind each partner that they are truly loved and special in their own way. But here's the thing. I already have a 5-year-old. I have a 5-year-old daughter that I share 50-50 with her dad. And say what you want about divided families, my daughter will be really good at saying goodbye. That is a life skill that she is already learning at this age because she gets to say goodbye to her mommy every Tuesday and Saturday night. Because that's when mommy gets to live her life like she was never born. I see a lot of people in the crowd in their 20s and 30s. Enjoy this decade while you can. When you get to your 40s, you get to hire lawyers. Trust me, it will happen for reasons that you could never imagine. You will need one. And by the way, lawyers charge like prostitutes by the minute with a 1-hour minimum. So go ahead. Drink the coffee, don't come prematurely, enjoy the pastries, because you are the one getting ass fucked. I have a dog, she's a Heinz 57, which means she is a super mix. So I call her Ketchup. I call my boyfriend Ketchup too. My tall, dark, Native American, Portuguese, Italian, Jewish beau. I'm constantly getting my hair caught in his kinky hair, which is a great way to keep a girl in bed if you don't have the equipment to tie her up. But yeah, one night, have you ever said anything during sex that just didn't maybe come out quite right? The other night he picked me up and flipped me over and I said, "Good boy." And he didn't seem to mind, but I was like, "Oh, fuck Esther, he's not a dog." In school, I was voted the most laid back at the end of the year. You know how they vote for the teacher's pet and the class clown, the most likely to succeed. I was surprisingly the most laid back. I think that's why they called me Easy E. But that was always amusing to me because I am on enough mood stabilizers to level a small pony. I might seem cool, but only because I'm heavily medicated. My current therapist is you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I am seeing a therapist, but he is a decade and a half younger than me. And he's really good, but I have a hard time taking advice from him because I'm like, what the fuck do you know about heartbreak and grief and resentment? You're not even old enough, you're barely old enough to drink. Can I just snort Lexapro for quicker effects? I mean, I'm asking for a friend. The real answer to my insanity is I just need a good night of fucking sleep. The problem with getting older is that you have to pee every 2 hours. So by the time you get into your first REM cycle, you have to get up and pee again, and it'll drive you crazy. It's kind of like breastfeeding a newborn, because you have to do it every 2 hours to keep the genetic poop monster alive. Except breastfeeding's for 1 year, incontinence is for life. I had a really hard time breastfeeding. Let's just say it did not go well. And I think my dad summed it up the best when he was like, well, you can't milk a skittish cow. By the way, never touch a woman's belly in pregnant. Oh no, I messed it up. By the way, never touch a woman's belly in public, whether she is pregnant or not. It's like touching a cat's belly. We don't like it, and if you do it, you will get clawed or peed on, especially if she is over 40. We also pee a little bit every time we sneeze, guys, just so you know. Let that sink in now that it's allergy season. It's always a really hot look when you're sharing diapers with your kid. Yeah, but that's the beauty of being 40 and a mom. It's hot. It's like melting a hot dog on a tar roof. It's like throwing a hot dog down the hallway. No, I'm just kidding. I do my Kegels. Vagina tightness has nothing to do with peeing a little bit every time you laugh hard. It gets better too, though, after dealing with younger therapists peeing every 2 hours at night and squirting a little bit every time you laugh. Insult is added to injury when you can't even hold it in when your boyfriend slaps your ass at night. He went whoosh, and I went whoosh, and liquid formed. But he surprised me. He caught me off guard, and things pop out of me when you slap me, like social embarrassment and maybe a little extra side of lube. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. At least the situation is the same color. Please just give me a mattress protector for my birthday. Thank you.
Well, leave it to Esther. There's gonna be so many things to look forward to. I am now in my upper 20s and I feel old already. Dating has changed and now I get asked if I have children. I went on a date with a terrorist. Still not the worst date I have been on. All right, up next, I'm sure we have some more fun things to hear about. We have Di coming to the stage and it is her birthday.
Thank you, Catherine. You're definitely the hostess with the mostest, dear.
Yeah.
Hi, you guys. I'm Di, short for Diane, but I'll answer to D, slut, or. Yes, it's my birthday, and it's true. Underneath this, I'm wearing my birthday suit.
26.
It almost fits. Actually, somebody guessed my age today. He said 42. And I just went, even if you're lying by 10 years, I am so flattered. Oh, I love it. Talk about the 40s. I almost remember the 40s. Yeah, no, I don't. So my second husband is here tonight. I don't want to say who he is because I'm still married to my first husband. But I said, baby, I'm going to have sex with my husband, but I'll be thinking of you. He said, really? I said, don't be stupid. I'm not going to have sex with my husband. But yeah, I've been around for a while. I can tell you a little bit about aging. It's not easy. It's not for sissies, as they say, you know. You're losing hair where you want it. You're getting it in places you don't want it. You're taking pills to make some things happen. You're taking other pills to make other things not happen. You can't hear shit. You can't see shit. You can't shit. But as has been observed, you can pee, right? Every time you cough, sneeze, or laugh. See, nobody peed right there, though. That was good. Or you look in the mirror and you go, that's new. Well, and it's never a good new now, is it? You know, when you were 14 and this something was a little bigger or rounder or hairier, that was cool. 40, 50 years later, yeah, not so much. But you know, as you get older, more shit just gets to be wrong with you. But you find you can bond with people over your illnesses. First time my mother-in-law told me about her hemorrhoids, I knew I was in. But you know, you get into this one-upsmanship, you know? I'll see your diabetes and I'll raise you shingles. Ooh, I had this friend of mine say, oh baby, I'm gonna lick up your thigh to your little pussy. I said, baby, if you want my little pussy, you're gonna need a time machine. You know, they have the vaginal rejuvenation surgery. Yes, I'm a before. That's all right, but I do keep it tight. Come on, do it with me, ladies. Flex, flex, flex. Ooh, yeah. Okay, but here's the thing. I was in the store, and ladies, you might be able, no, most of you won't relate to this. I'm in the store, and you go and you do your thing, and you're getting done, and God, this guy was so nice to you, and he helped you with everything you needed, and you pay, and you're getting ready to leave, and he says, thank you, ma'am. No, you know, I mean, I get it. If you're from the South, you were in the service, I'm your customer, so that makes sense. But if we're a man, we know we're a man. So I said to him, you know, you don't want me calling you sir. You want me calling you daddy. Oh, but you know what? Okay, so it's a true story. I was down on Airport Road and I stopped at a stoplight. And this car came up next to me, lowrider, and started jumping. I went, Al, still got it. I'm kind of keeping it together, you know? I go to a strip club down in Albuquerque, and they try to let me in the wrong door. You know, they got one door for customers and one for dancers. I said, my God, you guys, you flatter me so much. You can put any two of your dancers together and they don't equal my age. Well, except that one. You know, there's always that one. But listen, that girl was working, doing her thing, and everybody's got their thing, right? You never know what it's going to be. But I tell you, I see those girls up on stage, and the guys get the bills, stacks of $1 bills, and they're making it rain. I said, shit, I get up there, they'll be making it hail. Throwing coins at me and shit. I'm going, damn, you guys, parking is expensive. At least make it quarters. I gotta dance 3 sets just to pay for my shit. Oh, but yeah, I could dance in a club. I could dance in a white club. I couldn't dance in a black club. I said, can I at least get the audition? They said, make it clap. I said, what? All right, check it out. I'm gonna twerk for y'all.
Get it. Oh.
I was doing it. You just couldn't tell because I got no ass. No, she little, but she plays like a big girl. So, you ever see a girl walking past you and you see her coming and she's got it all together? She's got the makeup, the hair, the clothes are all just looking tight as shit. And she walks past you and she's got the visible panty line going on. Are you looking at her ass? Mission accomplished. Listen, you got to do what you got to do to get the attention, especially when you get, well, to, let's say, a more interesting age. Also, a more interesting weight. That's another thing we worry about as we get a little bit older, right? So you got to get on that scale because you just got to do that to yourself. I don't know why. First thing in the morning, right, when you get out of the shower, you want to shower first so you don't weigh yesterday's dirt. So you get on the scale. Okay, maybe I just need to. You ever have a shit so big you got back on the scale? Yes. Right? But the fact is, you know, I'm still keeping it together and I still get laid. I do, just ask my husband. Well, it's not exactly what you think. Like there was that time I came home from Walmart, and you know Walmart, they got everything, right? So I went and I put the bag of groceries on the island, and just as he's looking at it, I realized, oh my God, there's a box of condoms on the top of that bag. And he wasn't pissed that I had condoms. He wasn't pissed that they were magnums. He wasn't pissed that it was a 12-pack. He was pissed that I tried to put it on the grocery bill. And then there was a time I asked him if I could have some of this Viagra. I don't know if you know girls, but it's handy. So he said, yeah, but you're gonna have to pay for it. So if you need any, thank you very much, folks. Have a great evening.
Thank you and happy birthday! It's so fun to see women living, laughing, and loving because I never thought I would be the age I am now. And I am constantly horrified with what I have come upon. That wasn't a joke. All right, up next, we have someone who will hopefully have lots of jokes. Well, we'll see what happens. All right, red flag.
Kind of fucked up. She just killed and you just threw me out of here. Fuck. How am I supposed to follow that up? Jesus. Hell of an introduction, just that guy. Hopefully I end up on the State Department watch list. Might as well set it. Okay, folks, I'm Red Flag. Some of you might not like me because I say fucked up things, and that's understandable. So I just ask you get to know me, and get to know who I am as a person, and you'll find more justified reasons to not like me. What sucks is I can't grow a beard. I wish I could grow a beard like that guy. Look, that guy fucks. That guy fucks. I do not fuck because I can't grow a beard. I've had this mustache since I was like 2. My mama fed me a pot full of rice and beans. This Mexican stash grew, but the rest doesn't grow. I got the Korean K-pop genes. The rest don't grow. My dad fucked me. Sure. Hold on, let me take a little drink of this, all right? I gotta get hydrated. How else is my back gonna get wet? We have any Juul smokers in the crowd tonight? Any Juul smokers? Oh, I hate you. Fuck you. Your friends hate you. Your friends and family don't. I hate that you do that. I have to tell you, and it's only because the way people behave. You ever have a friend who can't find his Juul? Have you ever seen that nightmare? I've met meth addicts with more class. I swear to God, my friend lost, nicest guy in the world, love him, my brother, but when he loses his Juul, he fucking loses. He turns over my couch. Where's the Juul? Kicks over my other couch. Where's the Juul? Flips the table. He tells you, empty your fucking pocket. You got my Juul? It's terrifying, you know? It's like a Nazi officer looking for Juuls. Juuls! Where are the Juuls? You got Juuls? Empty your pocket. You got Juuls? Horrible. It's terrifying. We have any Jews in the crowd tonight? I should have asked that before I said that. I like the Jews.
I'm Jewish.
Yeah. Republicans are in the news again. Do you know about this? You heard about this. They got that little victory going. As usual, they're fixated on every vagina in America except their wives. You know, instead of focusing on trying to bring back those old school days, just trying to make your wife come. You know, I think that will relieve a lot of your issues. Hey, what's Bill Cosby's favorite truck? Dodge Ram! A little white rabbit and a green turtle are taking a road trip. As they're driving along, they see a bat hitchhiking along the side of the road. The rabbit says, should we pick him up? He doesn't want to pick him up. He says, I don't want to pick him up. Should we pick him up? The turtle says we should help him out. The rabbit thinks, should I pick him up? He says, no, I'm not going to pick him up. The turtle says, what do you mean you're not going to pick him up? He's on the side of the road. Like, what, because he's a bat? What do you think? He's got coronavirus? The rabbit says, no. What do you think? I'm ignorant? It's because he's black.
All right, that's pretty good.
Thank you. Sometimes I try to make good jokes. Anybody got kids? Any people with kids? One guy. Fuck it. The rest of you, good for you. Good for you. Well, my son just got into preschool recently and decided, well, I got to get his little backpack ready. You know, I want to make sure he's prepared. I went down to my local store and got my supplies. As I'm getting the backpack ready, I got my list. I go, what do I need? Well, crayons, colored pencils, bulletproof vest, binders, pencil sharpener, a tracker in case there's more pedophiles looking for kids, paper towels, napkins, because our school system's so underfunded and our teachers are not paid enough. Okay, that isn't funny. You're right. You guys shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. That's how sad it is. Okay. Yeah, I like that guy. You deserve happiness. The rest of you burn in hell. Okay. Cheeks. You guys love Cheeks? You guys remember Cheeks? An institution. I mean, how many of you are going to make you win? I win, and it depressed me. Literally, the first day I went to Cheeks, I thought this place should be burned down to the ground. I never had my cock go soft in a strip club. But when I said this place should be burned to the ground, I didn't think the rest of the state was going to catch. Thank you, folks.
Thank you. You never know what name he's gonna put himself under when he goes up, because you never know also what the fuck he's gonna say. But thank you for coming up. Pleasure to have you. All right, up next we have someone who it is their first time. I don't know if you guys remember your first time. It was really awkward for me. I'm talking about stand-up as well. Who needs? Get your ass up here. And give it up. This shit ain't easy, guys. It's not.
Hi, you. So my name is Puneet. I grew up in New Delhi, India. If you can't tell by the accent. So I grew up in New Delhi, India. I work at a bank and I hate answering phones. I just feel like I immediately make people sad. I answer, I give them a whole shebang, and they go, hey, can we speak somebody in the US? Like, bitch, I'm in the US. and then I like to mess with them, right? So I try to go into it. So what's the social security number? Typical Indian. So I was going to use this platform to talk about my work. But one of my coworkers showed up. Someone talked about porn.
Good thinking.
So growing up in did you know that porn is illegal in India?
Yes.
What? Growing up, I didn't know.
Well, that's good.
I'm like, fuck that shit. You're popping babies left and right, and you're gonna ban porn? What fuck kind of government is this? So this is before the internet and the iPhone. So you actually had to go out and buy a DVD to watch porn. We call it blue film. Yes. Surprisingly, my favorite color. And so that was the easy part. You always knew a friend who knew a guy. That was not a problem, right? The problem was how to watch it. You needed a CD player, right? And if you ever been to India, it's like your house is one long hall with all the open doors. So you prayed somebody's parents will go out of town or whatever. Prayers did come true. But then it was not just me and my friend watching it, right? It was like a whole brotherhood of the weirdo. 14 of the teenager boys watching it together. We always had this one friend who needed to use the bathroom every 5 goddamn minutes. Surprisingly, his name was Lucky. And then you had this one friend whose parents bought him a computer. So he's like calling you. And this dude got power, okay? Because you needed him to burn you that CD for your crush. So he knew his power. Like, come on, I want a taste of it. So, yeah, fuck that shit. So you go over there, and this is how he watched it. Okay, you're sitting behind him, and he's got his hand on the cursor, right on the X, and he's watching porn. The slightest thud from the next room, he's like, bang. Somebody coming. It was a matter of minutes, somebody would have. So I'm not enjoying this, right? I want to have fun. I want to enjoy life. I want more. So I made this great plan, right? There's this festival coming. Mom's going to be out of the house with the sister. My dad would take this 2-hour nap, and when he snored, neighbors heard. Right? So I'm like, the moment he's going to stop snoring, I'll kill him. Right? Right? No. No. The day comes, I was gonna do it. Fuck it. Okay. So I'm just sitting. And went down. I'm like, all right, let's go, baby. I'm like a king, enjoying it, right? He fucking walks in. Let's just say I got too vested. I swear to God, we watched it together for the first 5 seconds. I was really hoping he would say, where'd you get the high definition CD? He goes, what is this? Now, this is a life-changing moment, okay? I realized that day, I'm no bullshitter. I don't care who you are, I will give you as it is. He goes, what is this? I think they call it doggy style. I'm proud of my culture, I don't care. He made me switch for a whole month. But mom never found out that was good. But I got back to him. I got back. You know, you grow up, and your dad is like, your parents want you married, the Indian families, right? So they're like, hey, you should get married. Nah. I just did not have a heart to tell them I was dating a white girl at the time. White girl. You should get married. Nah. Come on. Have a taste of it. The fuck? No! Let me send you these pictures of girls. Like, Dad, since when did you start building? That's all. Thank you, guys.
Switch mics quicker than your ex-boyfriend could switch holes. I had a feeling that would land mixedly, but it's all right. Okay. I do love stand-up. It's a great way to cope with your issues and have a little fun. Like, do you ever find yourself in situations where you like later on and like, oh, I fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Like one time I mean, I think I'm a good person. I like to give a couple bucks to homeless people, or like, you know, if I've got a granola bar or some shit, I'll, you know, do that. But one time I was trying to give money to a homeless person, and turns out they weren't homeless. And that is how I met Phil Johnson, our next comedian.
All right. My name is Phil Johnson. It is nice to have you here. I will be out on the median later. Anything helps. I know what you guys are thinking, and guys, this is just, lady, it's not for you. Guys, you're asking me, all of you, you're asking me, how do you get Tinder swipes?
How do you do it?
I've seen it. How do I do it? I don't have a Tinder, but I guarantee I get more swipes than the rest of you. The trick? You know Jim selfies? You know that dude, and he's like, it looks good, and he's got his, he's got the bicep kind of rubbed up against the thing, so he's like, he looks tough, and like he looks good. I'm the guy in the background. Like I go to the gym, and I don't mean to, but there's always a guy taking a selfie in front of me. And you know what? These guys look good. They do. They look amazing. You know, they got like a 12-pack. And how do you see that through the shirt? It's weird. But he's got it, and he's doing the selfie, and here I am in the background just like Sasquatch, like. I get swiped all the time, I tell you what. I figured out what I want to do for a living. Anybody else? Not a one of you. Yeah, oh, this guy. What do you do for a living?
Retire at all.
That's cool. That's cool. That's similar to what I want to do for a living. I decided I want to be a Bond villain henchman. Like, right? That's on my resume. Like, Aryan Brotherhood, or like, I don't know, Knights of the Full Realm, like whatever you need. I got you. I want to be a Bond villain henchman because clearly they have a great recruiting schedule. Like, what does their medical look like? You know? Okay, so you're gonna be the guy, and once a week you're gonna have to open the volcano. Yeah, well, the gyrocopters can get out now. But okay, so, and every now and then you're gonna have to be punched in the face by an effete British man, and you're gonna have to make it look like it hurts. Like, you're gonna need to do the wow over the balcony. Have you done that one? Man, like, it's a good thing their medical is so good over at Voldemort Incorporated. But they do have fun jobs. Sure, you start out opening the volcano. Maybe you drive the golf cart down the interminably long tunnel. Maybe that's your job. But at some point, you might become a helicopter pilot. And I am a little bit afraid of being a helicopter pilot. Helicopters are extremely complex. You have to use both hands and both feet when you're flying a helicopter, and it's really difficult. And all the time, you're worried you might crash. All the time you're flying a helicopter, and it made me wonder, if there's a crosswind or there's a little bit of fog. It made me wonder, as a helicopter pilot, before you crash into the side of a mountain and smear your guts all over the place, do you shout Kobe? All right, folks, my name's been Phil Johnson. You've been
My favorite not homeless guy. Learned that the hard way. Okay, up next we have Thomas Pacheco. Get your ass up here, boy.
Thank you. How's everybody doing tonight? You guys know when you're falling in love with someone, and you kind of just ignore all the red flags, and you don't do it on purpose. It's just you're falling in love, so you kind of just don't notice it until afterwards. Well, that's what happened to me with my ex-girlfriend. There are so many red flags, and I just ignored all of them and ended up paying for it. But for example, this, when we were first getting to know each other, we were just talking. And before I tell the story, I should probably preface it. I don't really drink much. I don't really like to. The only time I'll drink is if I'm peer pressured into it. If my friends are like, dude, don't be a bitch, I'll be like, all right, you got me. And I'll have a beer or two. So anyway, we're getting to know each other, and we were talking, and I asked her, I was like, do you drink? And she was like, a little, really innocent. And I was like, have you ever been super drunk, blackout drunk, where you don't even remember anything from the night before? And she was like, a few times. And I was like, well, when was the last time? And I expected her to be like, a few months ago, or at least a few weeks ago, And I was like, when was the last time? She was like, Tuesday? And I was like, what? And I was like, today's Wednesday. That was last night. But yeah, you just ignore all the red flags, not on purpose, but you do. I don't know about you guys, but I have a hard time telling homeless people no. One, because I feel bad for them, and two, because they kind of scare me, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that causes a little bit of problems. I've been donating a lot of money to just homeless people, And my ex-girlfriend, the same one I was just talking about, she used to say this about homeless people, and we lived in Albuquerque, and there's a difference between Albuquerque homeless and Santa Fe homeless. You know, for example, one time I was in Santa Fe, I was driving, I had my window down, I sneezed, and from like across the way, some homeless dude was like, "Bless you!" And I was like, "Thanks." As compared to in Albuquerque, one time I was at a McDonald's, and this homeless dude walked in, no shoes, just started eating napkins, and he was like, "This is some good coffee." I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was sitting there trying to enjoy my food. This dude's like 5 feet away from me, just shoveling napkins into his mouth. I didn't know what to do. I just gave him like $3. I was like, "Here you go." But yeah, my ex-girlfriend, she used to say this about homeless people. She used to say, "If you don't bother them, they won't bother you." I was like, "They're not fucking bees. Like, what the fuck?" Which, by the way, not true about bees. Like, I've never gone out of my way to like fuck with a bee, yet they always try to sting me. And the same goes for homeless people. Like in an encounter, between me and a homeless person, I'm never the one to initiate it, you know? I'm not the one going up to them, eating napkins and being like, "This is some good coffee." Like, that's them, that's not me. I was actually in the sun a lot of today. I was helping this old couple clean up their like big lot of land or whatever. It sucked, but you know, old people, they need the help. Thank you. So anyway, I did learn a few things though, helping them today. Like one of the things I learned was old people suck ass at driving. And I've known that, but I've never had like a firsthand like passenger seat experience with it. Like there's a few turns I was like, "This is it. Like I'm done. We're gonna die." But luckily we made it. But the lady driving, super old lady, and she's like tiny. She was really tiny. She was sitting so close to the wheel. Like I swear to God, I didn't even know that the seats go that close to the wheel. And she was gunning it the whole way, like going so fast. And then at one point we pulled up and there was like this group of homeless people on the sidewalk. And in case you didn't know, old people hate homeless people for some reason. And so she started kind of talking shit about them. She's like, "Oh my God, look at all the homeless people. There's so many of them and they're like everywhere now, not like how it used to be." And I looked at her, I told her, I was like, "Yeah, but if you don't bother them, they won't bother you." All right, guys, that was my time.
Thank you. Oh, such goodness. Such goodness. Please give yourselves a round of applause if you are still here. Thank you. Thank you for supporting artists in this town. Maybe one day you will get your ass up here.
Vote on the thing.
Oh yeah, vote on the thing. Okay. So Wayward Comedy is this cool little thing that we do every Wednesday. We also have shows at Tumbleroot sometimes. And, you know, I just gotta be honest, fuck Meow Wolf. We are the best art collective in Santa Fe, and you can go online and prove it to those rich hoes that we are the best. So get online, newspapers still exist, vote for us. We also have a few comics who are up for Best Comic, who are Wayward Originals. We have Lawless, Trip Still Nikki, Isabel Madley, and Esther Coker. Can you believe we have 4 fucking people up for Best Comic? That's ridiculous. It's almost like we're worth showing up to every Wednesday at 8-ish. Okay. Up next, I have Aaron Harrington. Please join me.
What's up? That's great. Yeah, thanks for staying here. And yeah, I guess I am one of the only people with kids. And I have kids, and my kids are at that stage where they're asking if shit is real. And are mermaids real? Are dragons real? Is democracy real? I'm sorry, honey, none of those things are real. But if it's any consolation, neither am I, or you, or anything. Nothing is real. It's all make-believe. It's all virtual. Because it's actually way more statistically likely that we live in a virtual reality. Because all it takes is one universe with virtual reality to create endless virtual universes. And then each of those realities can create infinite virtual universes too. So the chances that we actually live in the one original universe is infinitely small. Like, the odds are literally infinity to 1. Like, I think our reality is about as real as this brick wall.
Don't hurt your hands. You back
Oh,
up.
jeez. Do you ever see out of the corner of your eye reality do this? Like, oh shit. And, if this is a virtual universe, then now I literally believe like all the Greek myths and Viking Valhalla shit and Bible stories and Ramayana epics, because all the gods of all those sacred books do act like bored, sexually frustrated teenagers playing a video game, right? And back in those like ancient days, the teenage gods were active, but where did they go? I think they went off to college, and they just like left us running in the attic of their parents' house. So I guess the second coming will be whoever buys us at the garage sale. Oh no, think of the type of people who go shopping for vintage video games at garage sales. It's not looking good. But I'll be playing video games now. I think I'm one of those people. And I'll think like, what if like this character like Mario or the Halo Commander actually thinks, yeah, Master Chief, yeah. What if he actually thinks that he has free will, but I'm actually the one controlling it? And then I think, shit, what if I'm an avatar and somebody's controlling me right now and I don't know it? But at least that's better than actually knowing you're being controlled. Like, could you imagine how terrifying it would be to be a character in a first-person shooter game with no free will? Like, I am so sorry. I don't want to be doing this. I can't control my body. I'm actually a pacifist. Ooh, I am so sorry. I'll pay for that. Just send me your Venmo, okay? I'll catch up with you later. I don't know why I'm running right now. Who left this rocket launcher laying around? Guess I'm gonna use it. Ooh, I am so sorry. That was a really cool airplane. Oh shit, I think I just pissed some people off. Don't shoot, I'm a pacifist! But I actually think, that makes me think like, when I die, I'm just gonna open my eyes and all my friends are standing around like, so, how was it? Whoa, that felt like a whole life. How long was I in there? 5 minutes? What? And you were right. It is way better if you don't know it's a virtual reality when you're in there. Because if you know it's virtual reality, then it's just like balls to the wall, demigod debauchery. And after you play out every possible phantasmagoric fantasy, it does actually get old to live with no consequences. It just doesn't feel real. But that life felt so real. And then my best friend is like, dude, guess what? I was your dog, man. There is nothing like a nice dog life after work to relax. And dude, I remember all the shit you did in front of the dog that you thought would never leave the room. But that one time with the peanut butter was over the line, bro. But it made up for it, the fact that your wife busted out the peanut butter on the regular. Bow, chicka, bow, wow. But if this life you're living really is just a virtual reality game, maybe I'm part of the program put here to remind you that this is virtual reality. And if I've convinced you that this is virtual reality, then good luck making responsible life choices from now on. Like, good luck driving home tonight and not driving like it's Grand Theft Auto. And definitely steer clear of me, because you know how many shits I give. Wow, this comedy set, this 5-minute comedy set has felt like a whole life. So, have good 5-minute lives, everyone. Thank you.
God. You know, I can't help but say, but you sound like you should be a cartoon character. Yeah. Oh, never mind. He's already just fitting the aesthetic. I, on the other hand, look like a confused femme lesbian biker. All right. It works for some people, all right? Okay. Up next, I have someone, I don't know who they are. I hope they are still here. And that is Patrick. Oh, he's still here. Come on up, baby.
Well, thank you. I saw these people with their sets on papers earlier on a napkin. It's 5 words. Anyway, so a couple years ago, I was seeing this woman, and I say seeing because we were in a relationship, we were dating, we were having a lot of sex. She was insisting, no, I don't want to be in a relationship. And then very shortly after we broke things off, she broke things off. I started seeing her with another guy, who I quickly found out was her ex-boyfriend, who she told me was crazy, really jealous, and didn't like to see her being flirted with by other guys. And that made me kind of uncomfortable because I used to sleep with her. And so I eventually had to develop this mechanism in my head of okay, what do I do if I see her with him? And so I would, and I live in a small town, so I would see them really often. And so in my head, I would just say to myself, I used to have sex with your girlfriend. I used to have sex with your girlfriend. A lot. And it worked. I felt a lot better whenever I would see them together when I would say this. It was great. And then eventually, it became a reflex. I would just see him in any context, and I would just say, I used to have sex with your girlfriend. But the problem is when I eventually met him, and I talked to him, and he introduced himself to me, and I almost said out loud, I used to have sex with your girlfriend. And so then it was hard to get out of the habit because I kept seeing him, and it's I saw the new Batman movie, and he was I really enjoyed it, and he was the first person I saw afterwards, and I wanted to talk to someone about the movie, and I was like, hey man, Batman was great. I used to have sex with your girlfriend. The Riddler, he was crazy, really crazy. Paul Dano did a great job. I used to have sex with your girlfriend. So it's still a habit I'm trying to break. Rain Man was a really revolutionary movie for me because I had never heard of autism before. I was in 5th grade and I was really impressed. He was really good at math. He could count cards. He saw this box of matches fall on the ground, and he just automatically knew how many matches were on the ground. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. I want to be just like that guy. And so all I learned about autism from that movie was that he was really good at math. And so I figured, well, if I had autism, I could be really good at math. And so I went around saying I want to have autism. I'd be so good at math. And then my mom eventually told me look, there's a lot more to autism than being good at math. And so that's why I didn't become any better at math. I'm still very, very mediocre at math. So yeah, this is my first time doing this. And so I have one last joke. The age-old question: what came first, the chicken or the egg? And I think I found it out. I think I know. Because in order for there to be an egg, the chicken had to come first. So thank you. It's good fun.
Yeah! I love orgasm jokes. As a woman, it gives me a feeling I don't get very often. I have a disappointing sex life. While I'm here, I want to remind you that there is an open mic at Desert Dogs Saturday at 7 o'clock. Show up. It will be fun. I will be there. And maybe I'll be naked. So show up. Up next, I have someone who's been sitting at the bar. Let's hope he hasn't spent too much time there. Kennedy. Kennedy. Oh, he's coming. Here he is. So hope he doesn't come too early. No, I don't have a mic stand. Suck it up.
No, it's okay. I'm just gonna play guitar, so I'll just do loud, I guess. But yes, so it's the basis of the song is like there's like so you guys know like the Emerald Triangle. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like it takes place the Emerald Triangle, and then
He knows how to use it too.
Right on, but so it's like the Emerald Triangle, they're growing weed, whatever, psychedelics. And then they just legalized weed in Montana, where I was living. And so there's this whole thing. So there's this dude that is in the Emerald Triangle chilling, and then he meets this dude from Montana. And the thing about, so it's like there's two different types of cities. There's cities where everybody becomes a cop and cities where nobody becomes a cop. So there's a city in the Emerald Triangle where there's literally 0 cops, the whole city. And then there's a city in Montana where for some reason the whole town decided to be undercover. And then, so the guy and his undercover friend there, I guess, but he doesn't know it, start hanging out, and he like learns about like the weed trade and stuff, you know? And then, but he kind of like defects from like the whole thing, because the thing about the undercovers is they're like sending everything to the police station. So like he's like, man, you're stealing our weed trade, now weed's legal in Montana. I'm like, what the fuck, you know? So they go to Montana and they decide to burn down a bar there called the Party Palace. And then they burn down the Party Palace. And then the thing is, the people, because in Montana they can close the bars and you can still drink inside well after close, but if you leave they just lock them on the way out. So they're in the Party Palace, all the undercovers partying. And these two dudes, they burned down the bar, and they just wanted, so they were locking the fire department out because they wanted to keep going. And then,
This must be just the most epic punchline.
yeah, totally. So they go to the bar there, and they're burning it down, and then everybody locks himself in and burns down with the bar. And then they go back to the Emerald Triangle, and they collect a bunch of weed, and they head off on a raft. And this is the story of them being on the raft.
All right, 2 minutes.
Like 2 minutes, and then another, because that was probably 2 minutes. My friend and me, we were stranded at sea with nothing but pounds and pounds of weed. We're 3 days in with no sight of land. Couldn't even smoke since we had no papers on hand. Sober and fatigued, we nibbled at our weed. We were tired but calm and managed to fall asleep. And when we woke up beneath the scorching sun, look there off on the horizon, the smell of coconut blunts. Coconut blunts, oh, 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 coconut. Coconut blunts, oh, 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 coconut.
So when we arrived on shore, guess what we did see? 47 marijuana plants and 42 brown paper trees. And when we walked around, guess what we did see? Oh, the wheat plants. And then the island's guru appeared to teach a lesson. He said, guys, what do you do when sober? We have all that you need. So roll up some of that dick and some of these here palm tree leaves. High as shit, we thanked him for all that he did. Just then, we never saw him again. But through the coconut blunts, his spirit hit. Coconut blunts, ooh, coconuts. Coconut blunts, ooh, coconut nuts. That's
Thank you. Every once in a while, I need a beautiful woman to stand next to me.
Oh, I know it.
You know? Oh, yeah, gee whiz. All right, we just got a couple more comics. Up next, we have RJ. Please come to the stage.
Thank you. It's my first time doing this.
Yeah.
Hopefully I won't make an ass out of myself, but if I do, you'll probably laugh anyhow, so it's good stuff. Actually, I'm here all the way from Pennsylvania. Somebody else was from Pennsylvania, and it's a pretty fucked up place, I gotta tell you. Before I left for my cross-country trip here, I happened to be in the post office, and I saw a guy mailing a bunch of these boxes with little holes in them, like air holes, and it said live animals on it. True story, I swear to God. I says, dude, what's in the box? He says, birds. I said, birds? What the hell kind of birds are you? He goes, oh man, they're really intelligent. He said, I sell these, I mail them all over the country. He said, they're so goddamn smart. I said, if they're so fucking smart, why don't they just fly there? So anyhow, I used to date this Amish girl. The Amish, they're really good. But she was always comparing me to her old boyfriend. And I remember one time the potatoes came into harvest. So like a good boyfriend, I helped her harvest the goddamn potatoes. So I'm up to my fucking knees in muck. And we're up there picking through all this potato field. It stinks like hell. And she pulls out these two big potatoes. And she says, these remind me of my ex-boyfriend's Ezekiel's balls. And I go, my God, that big? She goes, no, that dirty. All right, so let's see. I says, all right, so as an Amish man, do you have any fantasies? She said, yeah, 2 men a night. All right, so my buddy, he's got a farm, and he does all those farmer things and ranching and all that sort of stuff. And he was telling me one day, he said this guy was driving through the countryside in this little foreign convertible of some type, and he says he was out actually in the middle of the field. Yeah. Okay, please. Good night. All right. He was out in the middle of the field. One of his horses was giving birth. So he said this guy in the convertible pulls up at the fence line and he's watching. And my buddy, he's trying to pull this freaking horse out of the back, right? And finally he yells to the guy, he says, hey, get your ass over here, help me. The guy goes, oh my God, what do? He jumped over the fence, running over. He says, here, grab this leg coming out. So he grabbed the leg, and my buddy grabbed the other leg, and they pulled. Finally, this freaking little horse comes out, and it starts trotting around. The mother gets up and starts licking it off, and the guy in the convertible, the city guy, he goes, oh my God. He said, that was amazing. Never seen anything like that. And my buddy says, this shit happens all the time out here. He goes, he says, can I ask you a question? He goes, sure. He says,
how fast was that little horse running when he went up the other horse's ass like that? Hey, so cowboy rides into town. He ties up his horse and he gets off and he goes around back. He lifts the tail up and he kisses the horse right on the asshole. He goes and orders a beer. The bartender says, "Hey buddy, did I see that right? Did you just kiss that horse on the asshole?" He goes, "Yep, sure did." He goes, "What'd you go to that for?" He says, "Chapped lips." He goes, "Chapped lips? Does that cure him?" He says, "Nope. Stops me from licking them though." And you know why blondes don't make good cowboys, right? Blonde women, they can't keep their calves together. All right, that's all I got. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Oh, do you want your napkin of genius? Here you go, buddy. All right, I've got one more comedian coming up here to close us out. You know, God bless him. Corey Herrera.
What's up, guys? Yes, make the Indian follow the cowboy. Very nice, right? That's how we do in Santa Fe. What's up, guys? You guys good or what? Yeah? What do you do for a living, my cowboy friend? You're a photographer. You dress like a cowboy. Yeah, okay. You take pictures of your horses?
Yeah, actually, I got a picture of me right next to Sam Elliott in the movie.
So I don't know who Sam Elliott is. No, they're from the res, dude. We don't have that shit. You know? We just barely got the Matrix and shit like that. Good to see you, man. How you doing, Bo?
Good, you?
Not too bad. What do you do for a living?
What do I do for a living?
Nothing.
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 Oh.
Well, what the fuck are you doing here? You should be out looking for a job, dude, right? Collecting unemployment, that's how you get your belly dances from this lady here, huh?
Whoa! Wait, I was a professional belly dancer. We can't say that.
I can't say you are a belly dancer, that's what I called you.
You already know.
Your argument's not working, miss.
You already know what I do. I play with that little man in the boat.
I don't know why it's a man in the boat, that's kind of concerning. Just kidding. What's going on this side over here? What's up, guys? I got shit prepared tonight, dude. My only goal is to not fucking bomb, you know? If I do bomb, I'll sign up for Ukrainian, you know?
Oh, whoa, too soon.
No, it's not. I'm on their side, dude, you know? What's going on over here? All right. Everyone's back is turned to me. That's just the theme of this set tonight, you know what I mean? No one's really paying attention. I'm sick of this fucking fire, dude. You know? It's in my backyard, it's on fucking fire. There's gotta be another way to get away around here, you know? Any artists in the room? Oh yeah?
Hell yeah.
I know what you do. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm just kidding. You're an artist? What do you do?
An actor, writer, and I do stand-up comedy.
Okay. Very nice.
Every Wednesday.
Every
Where?
Wednesday. What about anyone who does painting or canvas work? Anyone? No one does canvas work? You guys are taking the show over for me? Thank you so much. You do? Yeah? You paint? What kind of paintings do you have? Erotic. Is that what you said, or neurotic? What is the sexiest thing you've ever painted? You're gonna have to talk louder, dude. I can't even fucking hear. A naked frog doing what? Alright, that's a picture of these two right here. Naked frog. What about anyone in the healthcare industry? Anyone here work in healthcare? Yeah? No? Any therapists here tonight? Because I need a fucking session right now, you know? I want to be an artist, man. I come from a family of artists, you know. My grandma's a really famous jeweler. My uncle's very good at making pottery. So my talent is I tell dick jokes to strangers, you know. I'd rather sell that shit on the plaza, right? I'm not a very good artist. I can't tell if my paintings are just abstract or I just fucking suck. You know what I mean? What really is the difference, you know? I actually came out with some new ideas. Like, I
I'm not very original, but I did come up with an idea I think will work very well. I'm gonna take famous paintings and just paint them on a wall in my picture, you know? I think I'll go that way, and I'll put my own little twist, you know? I'll paint the Mona Lisa with some chola eyebrows, you know what I mean? Even more mysterious, slightly intimidating, right? Picture of the screamer next to a bill, you know? Probably your guys' bill, right? I want to also, like, my favorite painting, though, I love is the girl with the pearl earring, but I'm going to give her a pearl necklace instead. You know what I mean? 'Cause I got to put my own twist on things. Anyone here cook? Anyone here? Huh? You love to cook? What's your favorite dish you like to cook? Stir fry. And what type of food is that? Stir fry. It's not like fried bread. I appreciate helping me out with the joke. You're like the comedy hamburger helper. I appreciate that, sir. Make stir fry. That's like a colonized version of Chinese food, right? Getting the food, losing the culture. Fuck you, bro. That's not cool. I like to bake, man. I want to come out with my own brand of pies, call them emo pies. The best part about them is they'll cut themselves. You know what I mean? That's how I'm marketing my product. How are you, sir? You good? Yeah, right there, man. Yeah. You good? You sure? You sound a little depressed, man. You just chilling? All right. What do you do for a living? What's your name, man?
My name's Kennedy, and
You look like a Kennedy.
do you ever feel like you're extremely funny, but actually nobody's laughing?
I'm going through that right now, dude. I feel your pain, bro. That's why I read these fucking mics. Who gives a fuck, dude? You got on stage, that's 90% of the battle, alright? Just fucking give it up for Kennedy, man. This shit's fucking hard. This is not easy stuff, you know what? Keep that shit going, right?
Can you point him out one more time?
Right there, that guy. That's the guy who bombed. I'm just kidding. You're cool, man. I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm bombing right now, so it's okay. We can go sign up for ISIS after this shit together. You know what I mean? I mean, you're driving in the same car. You know? ISIS open mic. I can barely say that with my fucking lisp, dude. ISIS, you know? Did you know the word for lisp is sigmatism? How fucking fucked up is that, dude? Describe the condition I have with fucking S's all across the board. That's not fucking cool, dude, you know? It's like trying to tell a fucking guy in a wheelchair to walk right. You know what I mean? Don't do that. It's fucked up, man. Alright. You know what, like, I always hear people quoting Confucius and shit like that. I feel like I'm gonna have a quote, you know, like 50 years from now, people will be quoting me, and the quote that I'll have is, I fucking hate people. You know what I mean? People fucking suck, you know? I'm just sick of working at a place like, you ever work at a job that you fucking hate, and the only reason you put up with the fucking manager is because he signed your fucking paycheck, you know? There's nothing special about these fucking people, they're just regular people, you know? I fucking hate that shit. I wish there was something funny there, but I'm just ranting. That is the theme tonight, man.
The bartender loved it.
The bartender loved it, that's very nice. I'm going on, I don't really share this, but I'm going on 5 months clean and sober, you know? Not that clean, maybe just sober, you know? But yeah, it's just fucking hard, man. I fucking hate being sober. That's like the only goal. That's the only thing that keeps you from being sober is just like not wanting to fucking fall off the wagon. You know what I'm saying? No. Thank you for that crowd participation. All right. I think I'm done. I don't want to talk more about my life. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. I always think it's so impressive when people get sober because it's very hard to deal with the life that we live. On that note, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Again, we do this every Wednesday. It's so nice to see familiar faces, whether you go up or not. I don't love, but I like you. Yeah, don't forget to vote the thing. Get on the Santa Fe Reporter. Best Art Collective, Fuck Meow Wolf, Isabel Madley, Lawless, Trip Stelnicki, Esther Coker. Vote for those hoes because I love them. They're all here. And I'm sorry, but one more time for our servers here at Chili Lime. They keep us satiated. And I think that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much. Such a pleasure. See you next week. Take care.
We should just